Alright, hey Taurus. So today we're going to be doing your next phase reading. We're going to figure out what you're being called to do next, what your actions are needed, and maybe even get some advice from your spirit. Alrighty, pre-shuffle the deck and cleanse the space so we can go ahead and get started. Okay. What is Taurus being called to do next? What is Taurus being called to next? Okay. Any other card before I get started? Alright. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we got the Queen of Swords and the Five of Cups. Okay, so what you're being called to next is has to do a lot with some healing. And I feel like a lot of you are getting tired of that word. So take what resonates and leave the rest behind, but it's definitely calling a lot in for healing. Um, there's a yeah, there's okay. So bear with me and just be patient while I explain this. Okay. So first, for those who resonate, the energy is very much so of there's been resistance towards a certain aspect of yourself that you kind of been unwilling to change or heal or address. Um, and it's like that little part of yourself has been causing a lot of stagnation. It has been causing a lot of things in your life that look unrelated to kind of stall. And I feel like there's been frustration because you've been kind of like looking at things and be like, well, why isn't this changing, or why can't I move forward to this, or why is this always collapse, or why is this not working out for me? And it's because of this aspect that you have not yet really wanting to deal with. And it could be a childhood wound, and it could be a wound that was caused by like nothing that had to do with your own actions or behavior. It could have been something done by someone totally outside yourself that has left a large wound, but it's a wound that still needs to be addressed. It's a wound that has caused in certain behaviors and beliefs in yourself that are causing you to not. That's really holding you back on your path. I'm gonna pull more cards to get a little bit more clarification on what nah what possible wound this is, or what it has to do with, or what it's associated with, just to give you a clearer idea what it is, and maybe even give you some confirmation. Yeah. Okay. So it's a little bit of a heavy energy, but that's okay. All right. What is Taurus being called to heal? What is Taurus being called to heal? There's a little gnat that keeps flying around. What is Taurus being called to heal? Okay. Got the Temperance card and the Six of Pentacles. Jesus. It keeps flying. Oh, I think it's the light. It likes the light. Anyway, the Temperance card and the Six of Pentacles. So what you're being called to heal has something to do with your people-pleasing tendencies. Yeah. Okay, that makes so much sense why that message of like it's a wound that was caused by somebody outside of you. So there's a wound in most likely rooting back to your childhood that has caused and spurred you to have really deep people-pleasing tendencies. And it's like it's not even about like you just giving like your last to somebody, or not really like putting yourself as a priority. It's more like it goes so deep to the point where it's like every little action you do is still associated with the motivation to please someone else. It's like it's almost like a wound that's constantly seeking approval, even the things that like are solely for you. Like you could like have a hobby, right? Like knitting or something that's totally like your peaceful time hobby. Like not even a lot of people know that you do it. But there's still a part of you that gets really frustrated or mad when you can't knit the way you want, or you can't, or what your what the project that you were working on and creating didn't turn out the way you want it. And I feel like a lot of you have just, oh, I'm just a perfectionist. But if you look a little bit deeper into that, it comes into that deep belief that everything that you do must please another. Everything that you do is going to be held accountable by somebody else. Everything that you do needs to be approved in order to validate, because otherwise nothing you do really has meaning. It's like something like that, something wrong like that kind of thought process that has been like is what's like going on underneath the surface for a lot of these behaviors that they just look on the surface unassociated with it. And so like you're being called to really, really, really heavily reflect on all your actions and all your um just the way you move about and the way you think, and try to find these connections and try to like start like, don't just leave it as like, oh, it's just like, it's just this, or like, oh, it's just um I'm just that way. And like really start like investigating deeper, because I feel like once you start doing that, you're going to start coming out with the same answers, which is have to do with this people pleasing tendency. And I feel like you're going to get to the point where you get fed up with how much goes back to that wound, that you are going to address it, that you are going to like heal it. And once you start healing, that's when movement's going to start happening again in your life. But until you get to that placement of being ready and feeling fully accepting of like how deep that wound is, and exploring the depth of that, it's gonna your life's gonna continue to be put on a pause, and it's gonna continue to kind of make you feel like there's so much like it's gonna make you start feeling like there's so much wrong with you, when that's not the case. You are dealing with the consequences of other people's actions that have been inflicted on you, but we cannot leave it just at that. You know what I mean? Okay. What does this look like for Taurus? What does this next phase look like for Taurus? What does this next phase look like for Taurus? I might have already said it, but we'll pull it still. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, okay, take a resonance with the spine. So, if you're single, you're definitely going to get partners into your life that are going to be very much reflection and mirroring for you, to be able to trigger you. It's like, okay, it's like spirit is doing everything in its can to trigger you into this energy of like, I wouldn't say desperation, but just like pure, like you're living off of pure frustration of like, of this aspect of like, it's going to continually be brought up to the surface, that there's something you need to heal, there's something you need to address, there's something that you need to explore within yourself. It's going to be continuously be brought up, and especially in your love life. So if you're single, there's going to be, I see multiple people coming to you. So if you're like in the dating pool, um you're gonna have multiple like, I wouldn't like flings. And when I say flings, I don't necessarily mean it has to involve something sexual or anything like that, but just like flings, because it's just short lived. You're gonna have multiple flings, kind of like, that are, each one is gonna kind of a little bit trigger you, whether they're doing it on purpose or not. But it's almost like an unconscious trigger, like something they do or something they say is going to be very, very, very bluntly like triggering for you. Um, and then if you guys are in a relationship, your partner, it's like, it's still, again, it's still very much mirroring. So like, there's maybe behaviors that your partner, you might feel like you don't know your partner a little bit recently, and you might feel like your partner's behavior has changed a little bit. And again, that's still influence from spirit to trigger you. It's that influence to wanting you to have a mirror of you, to be able to put it right in front of your face, of like, hey, this is what we're calling your attention to. It's this wound. You need to address it. We need to fix it. We need to heal it. We need to work on it. And also, it's like I said, it's spreading, like everything like you feel like that's nothing to do with that wound is going to, one way or another, be affected by it. There's no one way or another going to be connected to it. And so that's even saying coming out in your love life. Yeah. Because you could have, I feel like some of you have like, you guys are like, oh my God, I have the best partner. Like they're so loving, they're so giving, they're so, they make me feel this way, they make me feel so loved. Um, it's like, there's no way they're going to trigger me, and they will. um, it might even feel like you're starting to feel like maybe there's like an unequal exchange. Like maybe you feel like your partner has been giving more, and you've been feeling pressured to give more into the relationship because you feel like they've been giving more. Even that thought process of itself, do please explore that root of that thought, because it may lead you into even a more profound state of awareness and a reflection for you. Okay. What actions is needed? What actions does Taurus need to do in this stage, next phase? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So right off the bat with the Sun card, definitely got self love. And so when I say self love, I know a lot of you are like, wait, isn't the healing part of the self love? Yes and no. Because when you heal, you definitely do not want to forget the good qualities you have. Because sometimes when you heal, you can get caught up with what you perceive as the flaws within you, or feel like you just have so much work to do to fix yourself, quote unquote, right? But that's not going to be the case. What you like, the actions needed for you is definitely to keep reminding yourself of how great a person you are and still keeping your vibration up. This phase is not at all to beat you down. It's not at all to say that you are not a good person. It's not at all to say anything negative about you. And it's also not to, not it's also not to just disregard all the previous work you have done up to this point either. So the sun card with the self love, it's just more in a sense keep your self belief and keeping your belief in spirit and keeping that love and gratitude exchange between yourself and in between spirit. Um, I know that the two then you have the two of wands, the hermit card, and the devil card. So okay, part of this healing of this wound of that people pleasing is going to really be pushing you out of your comfort zone, right? Which is necessary, but and also as well, it's going to be a lot of shadow work and a lot of just soul searching, a lot of I would say it's not so much of a tower moment, but it's definitely a dark night of the soul moment. It's definitely gonna pertain to an ego death. But really the highlighted action is because a lot of the actions that are gonna come up, like I said, are actions that you are just mentally making yourself available to explore that side of yourself. But it's just mainly just keeping that self love and self belief within yourself strong, keeping your vibration strong, reminding yourself that this is just a stage that I need to heal. This is something that I need to do for my higher self. That this act is an act of self love. Okay. What is something that needs to be understood about this phase? Okay. Yeah. It's Four of Swords. So if some of you don't like meditating, I would definitely recommend trying to find alternative methods of meditation. But I will say meditating, because like meditating comes in, it's just I always think that my opinion of meditation is when you allow yourself to self-explore, when you allow yourself to let your thoughts run free, and you allow your subconscious to kind of come more to the front rather than having your just solid conscious lead you. So meditation looks different for everybody. But meditation during this stage is really something you cannot escape from, and is really something that is very important to this stage and is going to be very helpful. So, regardless of how you personally feel about meditation, I would highly recommend finding a way that does make you that does is peaceful for you to meditate. For some people, it's not a quiet space, and for some people, it's literally dancing to music. It's having that movement. It's having that space to be fully comfortable, whether it's listening to rock music or some rap. It doesn't even have to be that calming new age music. um, for others, it is sitting still in the room and closing their eyes and doing exactly what this dude's doing. um, and for others, it's meditation. It could be you doing a creative craft. If for others, it could be cooking. It could be walking. It could be in nature. It just taking time to allow your thoughts to run free, because meditation isn't just about making your mind go still. It's allowing those thoughts to come to your head and not hold on to any thoughts. It's to allow your subconscious to be fully explored. And so that is an action that is strongly, strongly, strongly recommended. And I would even personally just strongly, strongly recommend it, regardless of the stage. It's always a good tool to have, especially for your emotional regulation, because during this stage, you're going to be really, there might be some memories that kind of get re-triggered. There might be some like repressed memories that you have forgotten that kind of get rediscovered. Um, it might even involve the person that actually caused this wound. There might even be a conversation with them that involves that's going to cause a lot of emotional turmoil within you. So definitely, definitely look towards meditation and try to explore different ways of meditation as well. Okay. Is there any message from spirit? Okay. The Five of Swords, a message from spirit. Yeah, okay. Your own worst enemy is yourself. Yeah. Okay. So take responsibility with the rest behind. So some of this message pertains to people who will have that confrontation with the person who's kind of caused this wound, this people pleasing, this want of validation. Spirit wants to remind you that person is not the enemy in a sense. That person is not the one causing the trauma out. Yes, they have caused the wound, but they're not continuing the wound, if that makes sense. And the only one that can fix and heal that wound is you. The same way, the only person that can make that wound worse is you. So you are in complete control of this narrative. It's up to you how you want to, what actions you want to use for this. You have the power to make the wound even more worse, and you also have the power to close up that wound and to heal. So the spirit is really wanting to implement that to you. It's like no one else can make this worse for you. No, but in the same way, no one else can make this better for you. The only solution in this situation is you yourself. So yeah, I'm so sorry if this reading was so heavy. But I try to give the truth of it, whether it's negative or positive or just rough. So I do apologize though for the heavy reading. But do let me know in the comments down below if you resonated. I hope to better connect your energy. Feel free to like and subscribe. I do offer personal readings down below in the description box. And but yeah, I really guys hope. Well, I feel like it's an over estimation to say I hope you enjoyed, but I hope that this reading had provided some clarity and some messages for some of you. And I hope to see you guys next time. And yeah, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.